Hot Springs Village Inside Out is a closer look at the greatness of Hot Springs Village, Arkansas and the surrounding areas. People, places, experiences. Hot Springs Village is one of the most beautiful places on earth. Join me, Randy Cantrell, and my co-host Dennis Simpson as we engage in weekly conversations to explore Hot Springs Village Inside Out. Today's show is brought to you by Central Arkansas's favorite radio station, KVRE. Find them on the dial at 92.9 FM. Stream them live at kvre.com. Today's show is brought to you by RE/MAX of Hot Springs Village. The award-winning RE/MAX of Hot Springs Village is the largest real estate office inside the village with over 30 full-time agents and support staff. Visit them to learn more about this beautiful place to solve your real estate needs. Call them at 1-800-364-9007. Find them online at explorehsv.com. They are RE/MAX of Hot Springs Village at 1-800-364-9007 or online at explorehsv.com. HSV Inside Out is also brought to you by Ike Eisenhower State Farm. Ike and his award-winning team have been serving the insurance needs of folks all around Hot Springs Village since 1998. Ike has qualified for State Farm's President's Club, Chairman's Circle, and Hot Springs Village Insurance Agent of the Year. Call Ike Eisenhower State Farm today at 501-984-4100. That's 501-984-4100. Find them online at ikeeisenhower.net. Call them today for all your insurance needs because, like a good neighbor, Ike Eisenhower State Farm is there.
Dennis Simpson here with Mr. Greg Castillo. Greg, how long have I tried to rope you into this?
2 or 3 months now.
2 or 3 days or so, maybe. Yeah. Greg, you very humble, and you were asking, why would anybody want to do a show? I don't know. Guinness World Record holder, some kind of cowboy thing. What all does this involve?
Yeah, about 49 years of bull riding now. So
49 years?
Well, I started when I was 13, 1975, and we're at 24, so been a lot of years.
And now, how do you get the record for being the world's oldest bull rider?
You have to be the oldest to start with at your profession, and was in a rodeo in Colorado.
Yeah.
And so I had won that bull riding at the age of 56 years old. Wow. And riding with 20-year-olds. And so the question came up about who's the oldest. And so checked on it, and it was 35 years old was the oldest with the Guinness World Records. And so I did all my work on it and turned all the information in, and it all passed with Guinness and got a world record.
You kind of smashed that record too. It wasn't like there was some other 36-year-old standing around who was 50. So I'm guessing if your wife's like mine, it would have been something like, how did you get this record? And my wife would have come up with an answer like lack of common sense. That's what she would have come up with. Jody had some ideas about that?
Yeah. Jody, they actually interviewed her after that, and they said, what do you think about your husband being 56 years old and riding bulls? And she said, well, at 56, he can kind of make his own decisions. So that was her answer.
How many years have y'all been together? I haven't even asked. I don't know.
23 years now.
Really? Mm-hmm. Really? Now, she in the medical field, if I'm not mistaken?
Radiology.
So how long, and we're in your beautiful barber shop here, sitting at the bar. Mm-hmm. Yeah, how about that? But how many years have you been cutting hair?
I started cutting hair in 1984.
Yeah.
So I am 40 years in barbering this year and riding bulls longer than that.
Well, stay tuned because we're going to do a show about barbering here very soon. We're going to cut to the rest of that show shortly. But for now, we're going to stay on the topic of, so you just grew up around the rodeo or what? Where did you come from?
No, I met a bull rider at 13 years old. My father, we worked agriculture work, and this guy walks up and has these big muscles and a white T-shirt on. I'm 13 years old, and I'm looking at him, how big his muscles are, and Dad says, "Hey, Greg, I'd like to introduce you to Chuck. He's a bull rider." And I was fascinated by looking at this bull rider. I'd never seen a bull rider. I thought that all bull riders had big muscles.
Like
and,
you.
No, not like me. And so he said, "Well, we're riding bulls tomorrow in Hamburg, Arkansas." And said, "Hey, if you want to come down there, we'll put you on a bull." And talked my dad into taking me.
And your dad said yes.
Well, I had to really
Twist his arm
to get him to take me. He finally said, "We'll get this over with real fast. Come on, let's go." Yeah.
I think the guy, Jerry Clower, would have said, "We're going to break you from sucking eggs," right?
Yeah,
But it didn't. It didn't.
No, and so they had one I rode, and it didn't turn out too good. And the contractor says, "Hey, you want another bull?" And my dad didn't expect it, but I said, "Yes, I'll take another one."
Really? At 13?
And then he told the story till he passed away. He said, "I thought we'd get that over with real fast." And 40 years later, at that time, he's still climbing on the back of bulls.
Well, they say like people that use parachutes climbing out of a perfectly good airplane, climbing on the back of a perfectly, that bull hadn't done nothing to nobody, but you wanted to climb on back of him, right?
I had a desire. Still have that desire today.
What's it like? What's the best advice you have? Somebody says, "Hey, I saw Cowboy talk about this." What would you say? Don't.
I would convince you to stay away from bull riding for sure.
For the sake of your knees, I'm guessing.
Sake of your body. So it's very brutal to the body, and if you don't love it, you won't do it.
How do you practice for it? I mean, it's got to be hard on your body, so what do you do?
I train. I call myself a gymnast. I'm in the gym, for the last 20 years, and I have a routine that I call it my bull riding routine that takes the worst beating, the muscles, and I work on those real hard. So, but as far as practicing bull riding, I don't practice anymore because I'm as good as I'm going to get.
Yeah.
So my practice is at the rodeo in the arena. So that's how I practice now.
How does your heart race when you're doing this?
Actually, it doesn't. You ride enough bulls, you get very calm riding bulls.
How many times do you think you've done it?
It's hard to, I never have kept up with them, but I've had 22 consecutive years of bull riding, which that means that there were some years in there that I did not ride and I came back to it. Yeah. But this year makes my 22nd year. Consecutive, yeah.
Now, and for those that you don't know, we've talked about this quite a while. I've been chasing you down on this one more than once. The bottom line is that at 50 what? Well, when you first had the record?
56.
But you reset that record again, if I'm not mistaken, this last year. At what?
No, I didn't reset it. I'm planning on resetting it. So I'm riding now to reset that. But all the stars have to line up. It's not like all that comes from London, England, and it took 8 or 9 months last time to get that world record.
Well, you got to have witnesses and validation.
It's more to it than what I thought and what people think. So if I know the rodeo that I need to win in order for all the stars to line up to set another world record. So I'm just waiting. But yes, I'm riding. I'm back on the circuit this year. But that particular rodeo has not lined up yet, but it eventually will. Well,
I tell you what, we're going to come back. We're going to do a tour of the shop. We're going to talk about how to get your hair cut perfectly by Mr. Greg or his associates and the contribution that you've made to this place. This is fantastic. I love the shop.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for watching and listening to Hot Springs Village Inside Out, a weekly podcast starring Hot Springs Village, Arkansas. Visit the website at hotspringsvillageinsideout.com.